Hello, good evening, all viewers. This is Shiloh Christ Church International, and it is pastored by Apostle Ken Lo, Goreti Nalurega. Now, this evening we are going to discuss about a very important topic, and it concerns all of us. And the topic is about self-esteem. Self-esteem, and right here I have posted Faith that fellowships from Shiloh Christ Church International, and is going to be helping us. Teaching us about self-esteem and guiding us through faith. Minister, what is self-esteem?
Self-esteem, I can define it as the state or the feeling of worth,
Okay.
or that respect that you feel for yourself. Yeah. It's like that, but how you value yourself,
All right.
your conduct.
All right.
Yes.
How you value yourself. Okay. So it is like how you look at yourself, how you take yourself
Yes.
to be okay. What about low self-esteem? What is low self-esteem?
Low self-esteem, I can also define it as when you don't realize your worth or value. So it can cause you it can bring misconduct in a way that you can't know your likes, your dislikes, so you are just there hanging.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That is low self-esteem.
Yes.
All right. Now, what are the causes? What are the causes of low self-esteem among young people? Like today, what have been the causes of low self-esteem? Like the causes, what causes people, or what causes young people not to realize that self-worth in them, to undervalue themselves? What has been the cause?
One of the causes I can say it can be one's mind.
One is mind, okay.
In a way that, okay, the mind carries thoughts. So it can determine how one thinks, how one can take the other one's perception or like decision towards them. Like for example, I can look at you and I think like, what does he think of me? And so that mind, you can have thoughts of fear, and you're like, maybe I fear you. You're like, maybe that guy is tough. He's tough. And so that can also bring low self-esteem.
The mentality.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way one's mind thinks. Yeah.
All right. What about another cause? Another cause of low self-esteem among young people?
Another cause of low self-esteem.
In your own regard.
Yes.
All right. Okay. There is right now, in these days, young people have lost their self-esteem because maybe at school they have been bullied by other students. You get it? So when they are bullied by other students, the person that came with self-esteem at school, when the bullying starts taking place on him or on her, he starts seeing himself or herself like not worthy.
Yeah.
Not worthy. For example, they can bully you about your appearance, they bully you about your performance at school, and then you start feeling low. You get it? I think bullying, I think, has been one of the factors as to why young people now they are experiencing low self-esteem. And I think maybe another cause of low self-esteem has been challenges the students face in their academics. For example, when a student performs poorly at school, it may lead to low self-esteem in them. They may start feeling low, and before you know it, they will begin not doing the things they were doing. For example, expressing themselves in classes. Yeah, because they feel that they are not good enough in a certain subject. So when that subject comes, even though they think that I know the answer, it may be difficult for them to stand up and express themselves in front of the class because they are feeling low because of their performance. They are not having confidence in themselves, yeah, because of their performance. There is also another thing about what has brought low self-esteem. It is about the authority figures maybe being in conflict. Authority figures being in conflict. For instance, your dad can be in conflict with your mom. And because they are in conflict, sometimes you may end up being the one affected, because as they are conflicting, sometimes they can speak hurting words towards you because of their anger, because of their annoyance. And then those hurting words may bring you too low, in that you are going to start being a person with no self-esteem just because of the words that your parents have spoken concerning you.
True.
And maybe authority figures can be also teachers. Do you know that some teachers can speak some words to the students that are not good? Like, for you, you never even make it, you are stupid, you are underperforming in class. I don't know the reason as to why your parents are still paying school fees for you. Now, those words that are coming from the authority figure, who is the teacher, towards the student, may make the student to be with low self-esteem. And before you know it, the child may quit study, may quit school, just because of the authority figures undermining what he can do.
Right, what I can say about that, because if you see that person higher than you saying such words, you feel like you have nowhere to go. You feel like, if my parent has said that I'm stupid, then who else can say? Because that he's your parent or she's your parent. So you're like, if he has said that I'm stupid, then how can I believe that outsider's word? Because that's my parent. I'm from his or her ribs. So it can be very difficult when you reach out there, because another point that brings low self-esteem is family background. Because where you're from determines how you behave in the open. So if here at home they say insulting words, then of course you will stagger there while in the outside environment. You feel like now here at home they insult me, they don't value, they don't see my purpose. So when you're out there, it's very, very difficult for you to realize your purpose to other people. Yes.
Okay. Do you have another point as to why these days young people have really suffered a lot from low self-esteem.
The fact of being young, age,
All right.
because it's very difficult for someone, for me to do something that an older person can do. So sometimes as youth, we can yearn to do some things. We can yearn to be like a businesswoman, yet at my age I can't. So there is that limit. And you know that you have to go through some levels to become that great person that you want. But because of your age, you're like, I want to be there. I want to drive a car, but my age. So sometimes it can bring that wrestle in your mind, and you're like, I can't for real. And saying that you can't, it can just limit your dream of being a businesswoman. So what I can say that at this age, you shouldn't let your dream go. You should just keep on saying, I shall be a businesswoman. And what you should do at this age, you should just be preparing yourself level by level. Keep saying that you are a businesswoman. So that's the factor, age. Yes.
All right. Hey, I think maybe one of the causes of low self-esteem among young people, I think it is lack of exposure. I think that is one of the causes of low self-esteem among young people, lack of exposure. For example, some young people are not exposed to maybe so many things. They are not exposed to maybe they're not exposed to maybe things outside.
Maybe they lack experience.
They lack experience in so many aspects. So because they don't have the experience, they have not been exposed. When they reach certain platforms, they tend to underlook or to look down on themselves because they don't have that exposure of that platform. Okay, for instance, maybe just imagine maybe a young kid from maybe deep down in the village being taken to the stage, maybe to perform a song on the platform of the World Cup. Will that kid be able to stand that crowd?
Don't even a song. You can give them a book. Read for me this. The things are already here in the book. But I can assure you that kid may fail to read. Yeah.
Okay. Because I've seen several incidences whereby maybe it is a graduation party and then they call you upon maybe to give a certain presentation. And then behind you or in front of you, there is a huge crowd of people. So because you are not experienced in handling big crowds, in speaking to big crowds, you may end up actually looking down on yourself. Because of what? Because of the exposure. You are not exposed as regards to that subject or as regards to that aspect. You are not exposed. So I think lack of exposure has also contributed a lot to young people really having that low self-esteem. We have another cause.
I think we'll go with this.
All right. Okay. So, Faith, we have discussed the causes of low self-esteem. Now, what have been the effects of low self-esteem among young people?
The effects of low self-esteem. There's a point you said and said that some people don't feel good about themselves, like their physical appearance. Let's say that their beauty, their size. So if a person is not pleased with their physical appearance, of course it will make their hearts feel bad. And when there is let's say, when that thing happens, then I think that person will be easily exposed to bad peer pressure. Because if you know that you are bad, of course you do the bad thing. Even though you are able to do a good thing, you'll say that, anyway, I'm not beautiful, so let me just do this, let me just do that.
Okay.
So my point is that it exposes you to bad peer influence.
Okay.
In that you can be driven to do something bad easily. Because if you say in the we have talked about family background. When your mom or dad speaks something bad about you, like you are stupid, you are what, so outside there you also take yourself that way.
That you are stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're, for example, you're with your friends, and they tell you to do something, like, no, they told me I'm this. So they also they'll make you also do something.
All right.
They'll engage you in something because you've taken yourself that way.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I think what you're trying to explain is when a person is having low self-esteem, they can be easily influenced to do bad habits or to enter bad habits. For example, if a person is having low self-esteem, maybe when he's at school, they can be easily influenced, maybe to start jumping over the fences, to escape and do certain things that are not good, or they can be influenced maybe to start taking drugs because they don't have self-esteem to say no. So they feel comfortable being around others. They don't want to lose friends.
Yes.
Because when a person comes that, let us take drugs, and you don't want to lose that friend because you are having low self-esteem. So you are going to be easily influenced to take drugs just because your low self-esteem cannot make you stand to say no.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that point is very important, and I think it is one of the major causes. It is one of the major contributors of really young people going into bad habits and getting destroyed there. Yeah. What about another effect of low self-esteem among young people?
Another effect of low self-esteem among the youth. That I can say that it can be you lose opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah. Because someone who would have stood out in the open and spoken what would help someone else, it's shattered. Because once you step out, for example, let's say in class, and they ask you, there is a quiz, and they are awarding gifts. In school they have to make some things interesting. They be formal all the time. That they should, for example, they put an award. Then they tell you whoever wins. For example, in quizzes, we see them on TV. They're having a spelling quiz. They're having debates, and some children stand out and debate. They stand out and they are quizzed, and what ends up, they give them rewards, and so that takes them to higher levels, which could be an opportunity. So with low self-esteem, of course, you can't stand out and speak to people and debate and quiz. So it keeps you down, it takes you. It makes you lose opportunities.
Yeah, I think regarding that point, I think people with low self-esteem, they can't reason out other people. For example, I may come to you with a certain idea. Maybe I want you to be part of the idea. And because maybe you don't have enough self-esteem to reason me out, you may end up maybe just decide, maybe just following. Okay, let us do.
Yeah.
But without reasoning as to why you should do that.
Yes.
Or without reasoning as to why you should follow that. You get it? So I think young people with low self-esteem, really, they don't have that ability to reason out other people, because indeed they have low self-esteem. They can't stand to reason out other people.
They just go by what other people have brought. The decision may it be good or bad, they just follow it.
They just follow
Which
it.
at times may result into something bad.
Yeah. Because everything you decide to follow, or everything you decide in your life to go by, there are always consequences. As to what, there are always consequences. When you do, there are always consequences. When you don't do, it is also results. It also shows results. So that is one of the effects of low self-esteem. What about another effect of low self-esteem among young people?
Another effect.
I think another effect of low self-esteem is sometimes people with low self-esteem, they prefer to stay by themselves a very long time. And they keep quiet. Sometimes they may have what to speak, but maybe because they have low self-esteem, they decide to be by themselves alone.
Yeah, which means they're not social.
They are non-social. For instance, people, for example, at school, people that usually have low self-esteem in class, sometimes they decide to sit at the back of the class and in the corner, where they can be alone, where they can feel maybe they are isolated and they are alone and nobody is bothering them, because really they don't have that confidence to stand up.
Being social. I take a picture at school. There have been elections, but some people have yearned to be leaders, prefects. And of course, if you're not social, then there's no way you're going to get votes. For example, I have my friend. She's not really my friend because she's not social. She contested as head girl. And the bad thing is that she's not social. So she didn't go through. Of course, if you're a bit tough, if you're like, So that's what I can say.
Okay. Yeah, that is very right. And when you are not very social, as you say again, you lose out on so many opportunities. Just because the low self-esteem has led you into being non-social, and non-socializing with others is also leading you into losing out on so many opportunities.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other, and when you get to socialize, you get to really
bring out new perspectives.
New perspectives.
Come out with something
you
new.
get new ideas, you get new knowledge from other people, and even your talents inside there, they're being awakened when you socialize with others. But when you decide to be there alone, it means everything that is inside you is going to do what? Is going to die. Because it can only be awakened by other people when you socialize. Yeah. So, how can young people overcome low self-esteem?
can overcome low self-esteem. First, the point you first talked in the beginning was about your appearance. So I would like to take also to switch it to purpose. Like also one of the things that you or a person can cause that person to have low self-esteem is ignorance. You don't know your purpose. You don't know what you're able to do. That can hinder you from gaining that confidence over yourself. So knowing our purpose is very important. Knowing what you can do, knowing what your talent is very important. So
Okay.
if you know your purpose, if you know that I know math, then that math will be your source of confidence. It will be like, yeah, it will be like something to cling on, something to lean on. Yeah, it will bring that confidence that you need. So knowing our purpose, yeah.
Okay. All right. Knowing our purpose. That is very important. I think also young people should get to know themselves. They should get to try to discover who they are, to discover what can they do, to discover their abilities. And you can only discover your abilities by engaging yourself in so many things. You try out so many things.
Yes, exactly.
For instance, if you feel that you can sing, you go and sing. If you feel that maybe you can talk, you go and make presentations. You get?
Yes.
You try out so many things that you feel you can do, and maybe at the end of a given period, you'll discover that you are so good in some of the things you have tried. And then when you discover that you are so good in some of the things that you have tried, then they will give you confidence because you are good at them. You will not be like a person who doesn't know what they are good at. When you know what you are good at, it is going to give you a source of confidence to even try out so many things that you thought that maybe you can't try out. So I think young people should endeavor to discover themselves and and start trying out so many things. So many things. If you feel that maybe you can interpret, you can interpret. You can interpret a person. You go and interpret maybe a teacher when he's speaking something, when he's making a presentation. You go and interpret a pastor when he's preaching. You try to do so many things, and at the end of the day, you are going to discover that you are really good in some things. So that is one of the way of how young people can overcome low self-esteem. What about another point?
Another point is, if you know who you are, then you must love who you really are. You must be passionate about yourself.
Okay.
So that will help you develop your self-esteem.
Okay.
Because if you know that, if you see, sometimes some of us as youth, we are automatically passionate, or we are automatically perfect about something. So if you know that you're perfect in this thing, then love it. Because everyone was born with a talent, everyone was born with a much ability. So if you know that you can do something, then you must love it. So that will bring out and sprout out the real confidence.
All right. Loving yourself, not so. All right. That is very important. What shows that a person loves themselves?
What shows that a person loves themselves is that you always take care of yourself. For example, in dressing. Your dressing shows how you value yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is very important.
Yes.
That is what I wanted you to tell our viewers. Okay. Yeah, that is very important. how you take care of yourself.
Even how you're emotional about some people. For
Mm.
example, some people are really pointy, and you might end up getting mad or getting angry at them. But if you love yourself, then you won't give yourself time to get angry over any matters. Some people are scared of wrinkles. You know that?
They're scared, yeah.
They're scared of they're scared of wrinkles. So I think it's a myth that when you get angry, you get wrinkles. So any person who loves themselves, make sure that they are not angry, so they can't get wrinkles, because they love themselves, they love their skin, they love their, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now we have been discussing about how young people can overcome low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Now, what is the role of parents in helping their children overcome low self-esteem? The role of the parents. What is their responsibility, in other words?
Sliding back to their point of background, if any parent says an insulting thing about their child, that's really not good.
Okay.
The actual role of a parent is to motivate his or her child. Yes. You must tell your child how good he is, how perfect that child is. You must inform your child how valuable they are, because there are some parents that are like, don't touch my child, you don't know where I passed through to get her. Some parents have passed through pain, and I guess if that child hears that parent say that, they'll be proud of themselves, because they've had how the parent values that him or her. So parents should speak good about their children. They should even take that role of motivating them. In case they figure out their abilities, then they should promote them. They should tell them, you can, because in life there are certain levels. Like, there is a crowd of small people, there's a crowd of moderate people, there's a crowd of huge people. So anything can start small. For example, if a child is good at speech, then starts with, that child can choose to start with introducing that speech to the parents. Then the parent is like, yes, you can do it, you can go and present it to your class. And reaching to the class, the parent can also motivate the child and tell him or her that yes, you can also give that speech on the assembly. So the role of the parent is to motivate. If that parent motivates, then you are able to take up different levels, reaching the high.
Right. Motivation. Okay. I think in that line, I think the parents also should be supportive to their children. For example, if a child tells you that, maybe dad or mom, on Saturday we are going for a tour.
Yes.
We are going where? Maramagamo Forest. Or we are going to Maction Falls.
Yeah.
I think parents should be supportive. Yeah. If you have some money, you should support your child to go for that tour, because when they go to the tour, they get to be exposed.
Yeah.
They get to see new things. They interact with so many people. They learn so many things. And among the things they learn, those things help them to be confident about who they are. You get?
Yeah.
And when they are confident about who they are, they will get that self-esteem. They will grow up with self-esteem. For example, there are some swimming classes in some schools. Now, your child will come and, he wants your support. And sometimes you have even the money. But intentionally, you will decide to refuse and decline that you are not going to go there, or I don't have money. but in the actual sense when you have money. So it is my plea to the parents that you should be supportive to your children. Yeah, if it is swimming classes, support them. They go for swimming. When they go for swimming, they meet a lot of people, they interact with a lot of people, their self-confidence is boosted, and when they become better and better in swimming, you are going to see that your child is really different, even in the way they express themselves. Because what made them confident, it is the swimming classes that they used to what? To take. Yeah, I think parents, they should be supportive. Do you have another point as regards to the parents?
Yes.
All right.
I think parents should teach their children integrity. What I mean by integrity, they are the rules, or a person they can be the self-rules a person goes by. Because there are some strict parents I've seen that by 6 should be in the house. There are some rules that parents put on their children, that you shouldn't have many friends, shouldn't interact with neighbors. But some rules have had some children, or they have influenced them. But at times, those rules can help them, they can shape them. For example, there's a reason why a parent tells you don't interact with the neighbors. You never know that parent knows that the neighbors are ill-mannered. So setting rules for your child, the way they should behave in public, the way that they should behave during functions. Because when you're outside there, like for example at a function, a wedding, it's that parent's role to teach that child how to behave during that wedding, how to behave in different circumstances. When this happens, how should they react? So if that parent takes that role of teaching their child integrity, or those rules that they should go by, then that child will gain automatically that self-esteem.
All right. So there should be some rules set.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe by the parents,
Yeah.
that will guide the children in the way to go.
Yes.
And by that, the children will have self-confidence in the way they do things.
Yes.
Because the rules were set by the parents. Now they should behave, or now they should walk. All right, that is also a very important point as regards to the parents supporting their children to have that self-confidence. Do you have another point as regards to the parents?
Another point can be that the parents should take that step of always listening to their child's opinions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because at times we might have decisions, or we might have ideas that can help run the family, for example in business. So that parent should take that role of listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
The parents should be listening. Meaning when the parents are not listening, they are going to cause their children not to have that self-esteem. Because the children know that, even my parents cannot listen to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Self-esteem involves expression. If you're able to express yourself, then that will, of course, bring out the confidence that you have.
You see, parents, this point is very important. When you allow your child to express themselves towards you, and you don't limit them, you are going to boost their self-confidence, because they know that you are listening. You are always there to listen to them when they need to express themselves towards you regarding a certain subject or regarding a certain matter. So every time you listen to your children and give them an ear and give them attention, actually you are boosting their self-confidence. You are boosting their self-esteem. But when you decline what they are saying, it means that you'll be frustrating their self-esteem. So parents, I think you should take note of that and start listening to your children, because they have a lot of things to tell you, and sometimes they cannot tell you because they know even when they try, you are not going to listen. But when they get to know that my parent, my dad will listen to me, you are going to get amazed. You are going to get amazed. Your children are going to start speaking to you a lot of things, even the things you never expected. And then when they speak to you and you listen, you are going to get surprised. Their self-esteem is going to be boosted just because of that. That is very important. Very important. You have another point as regards to that. All right. Parents, I believe parents, you have a major role to play as regards to your children really having self-esteem. I think parents, you should also endeavor to teach your children to make choices, and at a certain time leave them to make their independent choices, because you are not going to be there for them always to help them make choices. So you should leave them to make choices. When you leave them to make choices, their self-confidence is going to be boosted. The time will come and they feel so confident making certain choices because it has been a way of life. But if every time you are the one deciding on their behalf, they are going to reach 20, they reach 25, they reach 30, when they can't decide independently by themselves on given several issues of life. So parents, you should take note of that. You should take note of that. And I think another point, parents, you should try to introduce your children to certain responsible people that can help shape their self-confidence. For example, you can introduce your child to a pastor, and you talk to the pastor, and you tell the pastor that, I want my child Rachel, I want you to boost her self-esteem. And the pastor is going to find a way of how they can boost the self-esteem of your child. Maybe by now starting giving the child so many opportunities in church to express themselves. You can talk to a teacher at school about your kid, about your child. And when you talk to the teacher is going to start taking initiative to improve the self-confidence of your child. Maybe by giving them now several opportunities to express themselves, several opportunities for them to engage in so many activities at school, and by the time your child will come back at home, they will be a different person. They will not be like a person that left maybe 3 months back. You will see a difference because you engage some people that actually have the power and ability to contribute something in the life of your kid. Thank you so much for watching, and may God bless you so much. Have a good night.